My sidekick Blow. Welcome to another edition of Time to Tell the Truth. We got a good program on for you today. The name of this program is Who is Raising These Children? Because to me, I don't think nobody's raising them. That's just my personal opinion, but I can't tell. What about you, Blow?
It's wicked out here. I say it like that. I mean, we all know what's going on. We know that the family structure has pretty much been divided. I say this all the time. I don't really know too many people who was raised from the time they was born until now and still got both their parents still together. So we are living almost in a predominantly society where people are being raised by their mother and their stepfather or just their father and an absent mother. So I
Right.
mean, we know that's where we at with it. It's time to tell the truth. Give us a call, 704-449-6563. Again, 704-449-6563. Give us a call, share, share, share. You know how it go. If you call in or share, we will send you a cash app. It's just as simple as that.
Yeah, throw your cash apps up. We know how to do it. We got a couple of things for you tonight, and we got a couple of videos we're gonna show you. So we're gonna about to get this thing popping. You do not want to miss what we have on tonight. You do not want to miss it.
Yeah, let's say we live. I'm trying to see. I don't see it on the page.
I don't need it.
Guess who's back? It's your boy Art, my sidekick. Time to
Yeah,
tell
yeah.
the
That's
truth.
last weekend.
Tonight's episode is Who is for you and
No.
It should be on. We try to get
who
some.
is for you.
Yeah, we got somebody just shared it right here, so we gotta be on. I don't know what the delay is.
Mhm.
I'm trying to see it right quick. All right, everybody on there, we good? We showing live? Yeah, I see. Yeah, we got somebody share right here. Latoya share.
Okay.
Yeah, we good. Y'all live. All right, we good. For some reason, it won't pop up on our feed.
Yeah, we ain't finding it on our feet, but we got a lot to talk about today. I mean, we want to know who's raising these kids. Blow, I can't tell that we're actually raising our own kids.
Well, well, we go just we gonna start with the basics. We just gonna answer the basic questions to try to get to where we trying to go.
Okay.
All right. So the first question is: did Mama raise us right? Did my mama raise me right? Did your mama raise you right?
Well, I mean, I think my mama raised me right. I mean, for all intents and purposes, I know she raised me right.
Yep.
But is there some things that was left to be desired? Absolutely. Did I get the benefit of the doubt all the time? I don't think so. I mean, I think that overall, uh, dad could have been in the picture, which my dad died when I was young, so he wasn't there. I think I missed out on that,
Yeah.
and that's a fact.
Well, for me to answer the question, I think one thing about it, I think when a single mom is raising a child, a boy per se, because I can
Mhm.
only speak for a man or a boy, but I'm saying I think that we have to learn as a boy. I think we have to learn to like steer ourselves. I think our mom tell us if you go out there, you do this, you go end up dead or in jail. But I think we have to go out there and have near death experiences and go to jail and learn from it like that. You know
Right.
what I mean? I believe when you have a dad that's right there with you, I think it's more hands on.
Yeah, absolutely. It's hands on. And I think you get more out of it, to be honest with you. I think you get
This
a
was
lot more
raised
out
right
of it.
by a strong single mother.
Well, somebody explain to me what is a strong single mother. I haven't seen a strong single mother. I've seen a strong mother, but when you start talking about a strong single mother, is she really single? Because most kids that get raised by quote unquote single mothers have a influential male
Yeah,
somewhere around.
yeah,
And if it ain't nobody but the coach, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Or the uncle or the stepdad.
Yeah, exactly. So it ain't just always about that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't buy it being just a strong single mother. I believe that it's more to it than that. I believe today we turning all of our kids over to the government, to the teachers union, to all of these people, unbeknownst to these mothers. I think they send them to school today. I don't think they're learning them anything, training them up. I think they send them to school and they just going to work and they hoping that they teach them everything. Because Blow, I can't understand for the life of me how you would have 2, 3, and 4 years olds and your mama sitting right there and they got some trans person swinging and dancing all over these kids like that. Somebody explain to me what kind of mama that is. I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm just saying. Somebody explain to me that mama. That's the mama I want to see. Explain that one to me.
I see you, Chef Florida Boy. I see you, Latoya McMillan. Make sure y'all hit the share button. Make sure you share it.
Exactly. Share it, share it, share it.
So I was raised by single mothers, grandmother, and auntie.
Yeah, exactly. You always have help. You can't do this by yourself. It wasn't even designed to do it by yourself.
Yeah, I think if we be particular or exact about it, a lot of mothers do say, "Oh well, I did it all by myself," when that's not the case. You still got your village that's helping you, even though you taking the credit for it. But you do have your mom, your aunts, the teachers, your village.
Yeah.
I mean, for the life of me, I don't understand why it seems like everybody can help raise the child and you take the credit for it, but the dad don't get no. I mean, just speaking for personal experiences, I know people who kids can't see their daddy, but they'll send them to me.
Yeah, exactly. For you to give them some advice.
And I don't mind, but I'm just saying, if you send them to me, what's wrong with them going over there?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's who you chose to,
Absolutely.
whop the whoop.
Absolutely.
That's who you chose to make it with.
Exactly.
So, all right. So the first question was, did mom raise us right? We can say mom raised us right, but we can say without a dad, we had to learn a lot of stuff on our own.
Right.
That maybe we could have got scared straight,
right,
or hands put on us about,
Right.
The second question is, does mom trust dad's role in decision making
right.
as
exactly.
a parent?
Exactly. Right.
So once again, does mom trust dad's role and / decision making?
Absolutely not. Mom has never trusted dad, and that's part of the problem. That's part of the problem. You would rather trust the school than to trust dad. Bro, how many times have you wanted to make a decision for your child and mom step in with her version of things?
Yep.
Like your judgment is no good. Like it's just her child.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the problem with it. It's the protecting him from the daddy doing what the daddy's role is doing when you ain't getting it done. I mean, I don't understand how you can have a child texting the father, telling the father this stuff is not going right in school, or this is going wrong and this is going wrong, and then you tell them to send them to me, and you got every bet you better not do this, or you don't need to do that. What
right. Exactly.
I don't need to do what obviously ain't getting done.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you make one decision. Let me ask you all this: whose decision should stand? If you got mama, even if daddy ain't in the house and he make a decision, whose decision supposed to stand? If your son wanted to play football and mama didn't want him to play football and you was going to take him to every football game, okay, should he be going to the football game?
I mean, I think as a parent, I have just as much right to make any decision as you do.
Yeah, but what if mama get pissed off and say, well, he ain't going to no football game?
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. Who granted the mother the absolute parent?
Yeah.
That's what I don't understand.
Exactly.
If you got a mama and you got a daddy, and they trying to raise the child together, co-parent, like Art said, and the father wants to make a decision, the mother has the right to disagree with it.
Right. But she doesn't have the absolute right to turn it all down. And I think that's part of what we got going on right here. But we see mothers all the time, they would rather give that right to the teacher. Now, you seem to think that the teacher knows better for your child than the parent. And I think that's part of the problem of what's going on out here. They are raising our kids. That's who's doing the raising. We're not raising them. You sending them there for the schools to raise them and all this. We know we have morals and values and principles. We was all raised under that. I mean, some morals and values, we understand what right and wrong is. We understand what the truth is and what it's not. How can you let somebody bamboozle you out of the truth? I'm just saying. I mean, you just take one simple truth. Men not supposed to be in women's sports. A simple truth. I mean, I'm just saying because they are more stronger, more physical, okay, more dominant. That's a simple truth that some kind of way they have allowed us as a people, and they have tricked you into thinking that that's not a truth. It is a truth. You might find one woman that can stand up to a man out of 1,000.
And she probably go just last later rounds.
Exactly.
She probably go there too.
Eventually. So we got a clip we want to show y'all. And this is telling you what these people are doing and how we know that our kids are not our kids anymore.
I mean, this stuff is crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's real crazy.
All right, here we go.
White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre has come under fire recently for telling a gathering, namely the Gay and Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation, that children, these are kids, these are our kids, they belong to all of us. She's coming under fire as people are like, well, excuse me, no, they are not, quite rightly. But what's getting a little bit eerie is we've heard this before from Prime Minister Biden, President Biden.
Oh, don't make
himself. No, I won't. Don't worry. Here he is saying the same just a few weeks ago.
Rebecca put a teacher's creed into words when she said, there's no such thing as someone else's child. No such thing as someone else's child. Our nation's children are all our children.
Well, White House Press Secretary Karine.
Now, the first thing I got to say about that, would you let Creepy Joe anywhere near your daughter or your son sniffing and doing all this? No, all our kids are not all our kids, because there's some people that don't need kids, okay? There's some people that don't even need to be nowhere near no kid. So no, all my kids is not, it is a such thing as somebody else's kid. That's your child and this is mine. And that's the way they're not all ours. Because if they all ours, you want them to be doing all this crazy stuff. And that's where that's leading to. Absolutely right. This is a crazy world. And this is what it's leading to out here right now. This is what it's leading to. They want to take your children. They want your children to be their children, and they want you to tell you what to do. Okay, in California right now, a child, an 8-year-old, can tell them that they're trans, and you can't do nothing about it. Or a 5-year-old, if they say they identify as this, you can't do anything as a parent. They making laws out there for you to not even be able to do anything about your child. But if your child gets in trouble, you're responsible for the child. If you can't see this paradox and what's really going on out here, you got a big problem. Who is raising our kids? It's evident that these kids ain't being raised right. All the shooting, all the craziness, all the foolishness they got going on out here, something's not right, and somebody's not raising them right. I mean, hey, kudos if you got one that's doing good. I applaud you for that, but it's a lot that's not.
I mean, it just seems like they just so moody. It's like I coach a basketball team. They come in, it's like, I mean, you would swear they ain't got their light bill money.
What?
Or they can't afford the way their attitudes is. Like, you can just see it on their face. Like, they just got like stone cold looks about them. Just like they just struggling on their rent.
Well,
or it's like they kids, and it's like they got the burdens and stresses of adults that it's like they trying to live a life that's not even time for that yet.
Well, let me tell you what I personally think it is. It's either, I always say this, it's either in the water, it's in the food, or it's in them damn shots they give them at birth. Okay, I'm gonna just put it like that. I ain't never seen so much mental illness in kids that don't even know what mental illness is, and they running around hollering about their mental. Who told you it was your mental? Who did that to you? Who it's in this stuff that they giving all these. I've never seen kids get these many shots in my life, brother. You don't need that many shots in your life. From what? They sticking them up with all of this stuff, and this stuff coming back home to roost at the end of the day. That's my belief. Okay. Now, if they ain't got in the water, if they ain't got in the food, they got to have it in these young people out here today are like zombies walking around out here. They don't feel, they have no emotion, they don't care about anything. Now you tell me where it's coming from. Yeah. You tell me where this stuff is going. You send them to school, they're indoctrinated instead of educated. They come out of there with a sense of, ain't no use in me doing anything. How many times have I heard that? I talk to a lot of young people. Well, it ain't worth doing that, no way. You don't run nothing, you don't control nothing anyway. It's this sense of downbeaten, downtrodden, no uplifting. Where did you get this stuff from? You couldn't have got it from home because they don't want you around the house. Hopefully they don't want them around the house. But you fall into this stuff, the first thing they'll do, well, send them to a psychiatrist. Put them on some more medicine. I mean, that's the way they do it. That's how it's going right now. We got to stop letting people raise our kids, and we need to take responsibility and start raising our own kids the right way.
All right, so our first talking point was, did mama raise us right? Then it was, does mama trust dad's role in decision making? Now, is it what she was doing, is it working?
No, it's not working. What she was doing is not working because the shift has been made. Okay, the shift has been made. Now mamas ain't even wanting to raise the kids. They want to send them off during the day and they take care of them when they come home at night, get in the bed. That's it. I'm gonna cook you a little something, and that's the end of raising right there. You know, that's the bottom line. Ain't no structure left. The men don't play a very minute role in all the decision-making progress. Let me ask y'all a question, and I don't mean no harm about it, but who do you think make the better decision when it comes to the family, when it comes to the children, when it comes to all of these? Is it the moms or the dads? I mean, really, financially?
Well, to me, I think it's just as fundamental as this. I don't think the dad is addressing a problem that's not a problem. First of all.
Let's say that again, Blow.
I don't think the dad is going to address a problem that is not a problem.
Meaning?
I'm not trying to correct the child that doesn't need to be corrected.
Okay.
So therefore, if you're raising a child as the mother, and I feel like there's any time where I need to act a certain way towards the child to get the child in line, you shouldn't be in question of that, because I'm not going to do that until it's needed.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. When you do see that happening, what is the kid thinking? Now,
well, first of all, if the kid is getting in trouble,
right,
or creating a problem,
right,
at school, all right, therefore the teacher is the one that's encountering this.
Okay.
So the teacher sent out a message to the father and to the mother saying, your child is in class, your child is not listening, your child is being bad.
Okay.
Okay. Now, for the mother to tell the dad, I don't think you should be putting your hands on him, or I don't think you should be disciplining him.
Right.
So basically, you letting him, whatever you doing not working to where he's not acting right in class.
Right.
But you don't want me to correct it.
Right. Exactly.
So he's running over you, but you go run over me.
Right. And this is what happens. This is what that's what I'm leading up to. Okay. At that point, the child is there, the mother is there, and you are there.
Yeah.
You trying to straighten his tail out. The mom is right there trying to defend what he is doing. Which way do you think the child is gonna go? I'm just saying.
I think sometimes the gender of the child has a lot to do with it. Women don't think like men. Men don't think like women. Well, I agree with that. But one thing about it is this: I don't think a man is trying to discipline a little girl like he's trying to discipline his son.
No, he won't do it. And I don't really think a little girl is gonna be acting like his son act, because a little girl, in most part, don't have the testosterone to do all of that. Okay, she ain't built like that. Okay, I'm just saying that's one aspect of it. The second aspect of it is when the mom is sitting there trying to straighten you about the child, and the child is right there present, the child is affected more, because the child is now saying, I don't have to respect you, Blow, because mama is right here, got my back, especially if the child stays with mama. And this is where we get off course at a lot of times. Now, not only do the kid not respect you, he don't respect mama, and he don't respect law enforcement, and he don't respect nobody else. That's why he can get on the school bus and go and want to jump on the bus driver, because he know mom is gonna come trotting her tail down there, okay, and try to jump on the bus driver, and he on the bus acting a fool.
Yep.
That's what the problem is. That's our biggest problem. You know, instead of trying to protect the kid from blow.
And I think the parents of these days try to protect their child from everybody, and that's the problem. Everybody is not. Your child is not to be protected. You don't protect your child from everybody,
Right.
because at the end of the day, me as a adult, I'm telling my child, you respect all adults.
Exactly.
If an adult tell me that my son is acting up, I'm automatically thinking my son is in the wrong.
Exactly.
That's just the way I am. But women are not like that.
Right.
Like you just said up here. If somebody tell you your child is doing something wrong, you automatically thinking somebody's attacking your child.
Exactly.
When that's not the case.
Exactly.
A man don't see it like that.
He
A man
sure
see it like that adult is right. I had an instance. They're trying to take a test. They taking all the kids' phones because they know everybody got phones. They asked mine for his. He told them no. So they sent them there in school suspension. Okay, my thing with that is I got a problem with that.
Exactly.
If the adult asks you for the phone, then
Exactly.
you give them the phone. If the adult lose, now the mama, oh well, if they lose the phone, then
making excuses for the child.
yeah. They need to be held accountable for the phone. Well, look at if the phone get lost, we'll handle that then.
Thank you. And that's the problem. Look, instead of you teaching the child to handle the problem, the child needs to understand, come to me, let me handle the problem.
Let me handle the problem.
Exactly. You don't handle nothing. See, because you're not grown. Let me handle it. I handle grown people. And see, until the children know their place, instead of, how do you get children, I mean, bucking up the teachers and I mean, all kinds of stuff.
I mean, they're not listening. They're not listening.
They're not listening to who's raising them, because they only know that they can disrespect this person. And guess what? Most of the time, 9 out of every 10 times, they know mom is going to come up there raising sand at the teacher, you know, and when he's not been in there acting crazy. Well, they shouldn't have never took his phone. How many times I heard stuff like that?
But the daddy feels like this. The daddy's like, you know that we both are getting embarrassed by this.
Right.
Because when a teacher asking a student to do something and they're not doing it, who is raising this child?
Exactly.
And the answer is that is me.
It's a lack of authority, bro.
The answer to that question is me.
Yeah.
So mine's just running crazy. You getting on my case about it, but the answer to who is raising this child is me.
Yeah.
No. You raising that child, because I'm not going for that.
Exactly.
I don't tolerate that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
I don't tolerate yes and no.
Well,
I'm yes sir, no ma'am, no sir, no ma'am. I don't know. That's not me. That's you.
well, let me ask you a question, Blo. I was told that tough love doesn't work.
Well, I'm
Now,
gonna
that's
tell
what
you
I was told. But I don't believe that personally.
well, it's got to work.
And no question, it's got to work.
Because when you know it's a consequence for your action, you'll think twice before you make your action.
Well,
I think it's a lot about discipline. I think it's a lot about manners. You know, I feel like any child, like I say, any child is telling an adult, yes sir, no ma'am, let me get your phone. Yes sir.
yeah. Well, I mean,
I mean that's just what I feel. I don't think that they being raised with the
well,
same moral
I'm
value.
gonna tell you, if somebody tell you that, what has happened to them? What has happened to them is that they have been propagandized by this nonsense that you shouldn't discipline your child, that you shouldn't put a hand on them, you know, and that you can just sit there and talk with no consequences. They come up with this timeout that never worked.
Man.
Never worked at all. Now, but this is the caveat. They'll tell you not to spank your child,
Yep.
but they'll go and lock him up for 20 years for a little piece of rock like this, and they'll give him 30 years.
I mean,
Now, wouldn't you rather have beat his butt than them to give him 30 years?
I mean, they'll
I'm
give
just saying, man.
him 30 years for doing any of the crazy foolishness he doing.
Exactly.
I mean, and especially the rate they're going ahead. There's a reason the things are going on the way it is now, and
Right.
we just have to speak up on it.
And it's by design. We should have been speaking on it from the beginning. When they started talking about you can't whoop your child, you definitely can whoop your child. I never stop. I'm gonna tell you that now. I will whoop your butt. Even I don't care how old you get. And I'm saying that because you know it's got to be. It has to be some respect. It has to be some understanding. It has to be some authority figures
we can
around.
call it all the way what it is. If you sum it up, you know, I beat my child, but I don't beat my child.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
I beat my child, but I don't beat my child. If my child needs to be beat because they're doing something out of line, then I'm gonna beat my child. You know what I mean? That don't mean I beat my child.
Right.
You know, I'm not just beating my child for nothing.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, see, that's why they already took that control out of the parents' hand. That's what they tried to do. They're trying to take control of your child, which they did, and we let them get away with it. And I ain't heard none of these so-called good single-parent moms fighting back against this stuff. I mean, because I ain't heard it. Where is it at? Where's the outrage? See, the problem with us in our society is we don't push back against nothing. Just like I say, every woman in this whole country should have been upset when they gave the Woman of the Year to a man up there at that White House. Now, I can't understand for the life of me why I ain't heard no outrage over the real women out here. I don't get that. That part, like it's not a real woman who could have got the Woman of the Year award. I haven't heard nobody say, it's like you're scared to talk. I mean, they got you so messed up out here, man. You scared to speak up.
I mean, until it's time to speak up against the person you help.
Yeah,
I don't understand it.
Well, they'll speak out against you. They'll speak out against me. Oh man, they told us all kinds of stuff, but have not during COVID. They were telling us all kinds of stuff. Man, but I haven't yet for them to speak out that these people done told them a lie, and I ain't seen nobody come back on Facebook telling and saying that these people lied. Why are you so scared to go ahead and admit the honest and tell the truth? You ain't scared to talk to me and blow like that. You're coming and hush us together. You was telling us, I hope you die.
Yeah.
I mean, it was that serious. But now I can't get you to say one word about all these clowns that pushed all this stuff, knowing it wasn't no earthly good at all. That's what I'm talking about. Man, it's crazy. And I think that's where we standing at a society. We won't push back against nothing. We'll sit there and look crazy until it's one of us.
Yep.
Then you got all this to say in the world to say.
Yeah, we got to stop the divide between the mother, and the father.
They creating it. They create that divide. They make it so. Because most of the moms know that, well, if I talk junk to the dad and leave, I'm still going to get a place to stay. I'm going to get some food stamps and a check if I want it. That's just that.
And then you go raise them as your child until they grow up, and you protecting them from the daddy. Don't want the daddy to have no input on nothing. And then they out here slaughtering stuff. Yeah,
killing everything up. I mean, doing everything in the world, running in stores, stealing stuff. That's because you protecting them from the wrong people.
Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy. We got another video we want to show you.
Yep. Yeah, this one do we want
crazy.
The government and the teachers union to continue to raise our kids.
Right. This is a crazy video, and this is what's really going on. It's warfare out here, spiritual warfare. Believe that.
Man, this stuff. I mean, you can't make this stuff up.
You can't.
Here we go.
If there's one thing the left's successful at, it's destruction. They're not really that great at building things, but boy, can they tear something down. The family unit, the English language, gender, but physically as well. The left's a wrecking ball. In 2020, they torched cities and toppled statues. Statues of the people who built the country. No one was safe. As for Democrats in D.C., they said, let the people do what they want.
It's up to the communities to decide what statues they want to see. I don't care that much about statues. People will do what they do.
We're going to stop it for a second right there. Now, first and foremost, who lets kids just do what they want? Did you notice everybody out there was basically 30 and under? You know what I'm saying? 30 and under, maybe even 25 and under. Who said, and then you get this clown, Nancy Pelosi, coming up there, oh, well, we just let the community do what they want. That's not no community. Those are young people, young kids out there tearing up stuff, and you just let them tear up stuff because you want them to tear up stuff. That's what that is. You know, that's who's raising your kids. Oh, just let them tear up stuff. Now, them same people think they can go tear up something else. Like they thought they could go down there in Atlanta and tear up that new police station, and they wind up with their butts in prison, and some of them got shot. That's what I'm talking about. You know, that leads to something else. When you got politicians like that clown up there talking about, well, we just gonna let the community. That ain't no community. That's your kids out there. That's what community that is. That's you ain't see nobody 40 and 50 and up standing out there, running out there, tearing down no statues. Man, that's crazy. I mean, that's just the way it is. How do we do that, Blo? How do that happen?
I don't know, man.
Yeah, we'll go back to the thing, but I'm just saying that's what we're working with.
Now here at Prime Time, we're against the tearing down of statues, generally erect new statues, because we learn from history. We don't erase it. But if there's one statue we can make an exception for to be torn down, it's Satan. The Satanic Temple is displaying a statue of Lucifer in the Iowa Capitol. We don't know why Iowa politicians sanction this. It's not clear Satanism is even a legitimate religion. But they put up their candles, their seal, a pagan pentagram, a Baphomet statue, which is an occult symbol, half goat, half human. They celebrated their satanic victory by posting "Hail Satan." And then they put it next to the nativity scene, which was a declaration of spiritual warfare.
Though the temple went through the correct administrative channels to present in the rotunda, the display is getting pushback.
One, I hope people realize spiritual warfare is real, that there are evil, satanic forces that are trying to infiltrate our state.
Iowa resident Shelley Flockhart said she was shocked to see the altar at the Capitol, so she organized a group to pray near the rotunda's Christmas tree.
It's a very dark, evil force.
The temple did this same thing 2 years ago in the Illinois state capitol, and it led to a Christian confrontation. So lawmakers in Iowa say their hands are tied. I'm not buying that. One of the state's representatives, John Dunwell, said they can't discriminate on the basis of religion, and they could either allow all displays or none. Give me a break. It's not a religious display. It's a religious attack. It's a satanic attack on Christianity. The Satanic Temple originally wanted to put a real goat head on their statue and stink up the Capitol with it. These are the kind of lunatics we're dealing with. The Satanic Temple founder went on CNN and said he's not trying to be provocative, which is like burning the Bible on the steps of a church and claiming you're not trying to be provocative.
Was the intent to simply provoke people who of Christian faith who might find that to be against their religion, not just objectionable in and of itself, but actually against something that they believe?
Well, for one thing, no, we don't do this just to provoke and offend them. But I also want to offer the caveat that even if that were what we were doing, even if we were offering criticism of mainstream traditional religious organizations, I would defend our right to do that.
So these are the same people who started putting Satan clubs in elementary schools. They're even opening up a Satan club at a Tennessee elementary school right after Christmas. How do the parents think about that?
Why bring the devil into a school that's full of minors?
My children will not be involved in that, at the school program.
Satan has no room in this district.
These are very young children, and they're being used for a political agenda or some kind of agenda that has no place in our schools.
I actually spoke to the leader of the Satanic Temple, Lucian Greaves, about these clubs last year. If Satan's evil, why should kids be in an evil club?
Well, obviously, we don't view Satan as evil, and it really doesn't matter to us what your mythology is surrounding Satan.
Now,
yeah, in elementary school. How about that? And we actually had a few parents pushing back against that mess. Okay, elementary school, Satan, really? That's what you got raising your kids. That's who's raising your kids. That's what they're gonna put in there. Why ain't every parent pushing back on that?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, they'll put that up in the Capitol building, but they letting you just tear anything down.
Yeah.
You can go down there and tear everybody's statue down.
Right. Yeah. Actually, it was a man that came in and tore that mess down, and we're gonna show it to you in a minute. But what I'm saying is, they'll let you tear all these statues down, but if you go tear that one down, then it's a problem. If your kids run in there and tear that down, then they're gonna get locked up. After we just showed you all those statues, oh, we just let the community decide.
Yeah. That's the hypocrisy. The hypocrisy.
At its finest. And we're gonna let the community decide. If they want to tear a statue down, right? Now, how many more statues is they gonna tear down? What else is they gonna tear down? What about the man that lost his business when they was doing that? What about the poor fella that the whole building was burned down? What about the security guard that got killed during that time? I mean, come on, man. That only leads to some more stuff. That leads to disrespect of officers, that disrespect of the people's property, everything else. That's not a way to raise a child. I'll tell you that right now. So all they doing is indoctrinating. Got something else on that, Blow?
No,
Let's show them some more of this clip.
I mean, it's sad, man. But do you see
That's what they doing.
Yeah.
Primetime believes the Satanic Temple can express themselves however they want. If you want to worship evil, go right ahead. It's your choice to go to hell. But we draw the line at ridiculing our religion, physically and symbolically attacking it in public before Christmas. We don't have to allow that. We don't have to tolerate your intolerance. One man actually took matters into his own hands. Michael Cassidy, a former U.S. Navy Reserve pilot from Mississippi, traveled to the Iowa Capitol and tore down the Satanic Temple's display, knocked the goat head satanic statue right down. He said he was following his conscience. The satanic people got angry. Imagine that.
They denigrated the local government for following the law and opening the public forum to all viewers, and they still felt the need to tear down the statue or the display that was put up by our Iowa congregation. I think it was a real act of cowardice. It's cowardice dressed up as heroism. There's a certain point at which we need some adults in the room to tell people what our liberal democratic values are, what their value is, why we uphold them, and what they're good for.
God puts a goat head next to the manger on Christmas, and now he's saying they need adults in the room. The Satanic Temple's now lecturing us on liberal democratic values? Cassidy's arrested, and he's charged with fourth-degree criminal mischief. He's been released, and Americans are rallying behind him. Let's bring in Michael Cassidy and his attorney, Davis Yance. So, Michael, was this something that you plotted, or is this something you just did on the spur of the moment?
Thanks for having me, Jesse. This was certainly a spur of the moment kind of thing. I saw that this was going on. I was surprised that the legislature allowed it up and that they didn't do anything to take it down, just to take it down. And so I got to the Capitol and I didn't know what to expect when I got there. Just like that scene in Illinois with tons of people chanting and whatnot. I didn't know what was going to be there, but nobody was there. And it offended me. It touched a nerve. It was, righteous indignation. I'd call it, Christian civil disobedience. And yeah, so I took the statue that was there and or the idol, whatever you want to call it. And then it's no longer there.
How precisely did you decapitate Satan?
Pulled his head off.
Just pulled the head right off and let it crash on the ground.
Pulled it off, and then it's just some cheap fabric, probably like, I don't know, $5, $10, something like that. Tore it off, pulled it apart, put it in a garbage bag, and then I went down to security and told them what I did. I wasn't running away or anything like that. I told them what I did. They were very professional. Then they gave me the citation and sent me on my way.
But that's how people supposed to push back. That's how you're supposed to push back against this foolishness out here, this nonsense they got going on. Who does that? and you go take something up in there and put it right next. If you don't think this is 2 Timothy chapter 3 for people don't understand and know it, you better be looking at the end time. You can talk all you want about how the Bible ain't this, that, and the other, but prophecy is being fulfilled right through it.
Yeah, but you see that he said that there is so some kind of way that man does not feel like he's not being supported by the Democratic Party.
Right.
He claimed the party right there on the video.
Yes, he did. And I mean, you know, this is what we got. This is what we got going on in our schools. This is what we got going on in our White House. All these people we got set up in government right now are some psychopathic maniacs. I'm going to tell you that right now. Psychopathic maniacs. They're indoctrinating our kids instead of educating them. They're not teaching them. They're not teaching them what they're supposed to be teaching them. Half of them can't read when they come out. I'm at the 7-Eleven store. I give a lady $1 for 30 cents back in change, and it's 70 cents, and then she don't even know how to give me change for that. If the doggone thing didn't say it up there, she was lost. I'm telling you, that's what they sending out today. Who is raising these kids? We need to start raising our kids. If you don't know the reading, if you don't know how to raise a child, you need to ask somebody. You need to stop, take some deep thought. If you can't think critically, you need to take some critical thinking skills. I mean, that's as simple as that. You know, because you got to understand, kids just don't raise themselves. You know, and I've seen a lot of so-called single-parent moms talking about, well, I want them to have more than me and do this, that, and the other. You need to teach them how to have more. You don't try to give it to them. You got to teach them. You know, I say this a lot. A child just don't get rewarded for being a child. You already rewarded for being a child. How? You got lights, you got something to eat, you got clothes on your back. That's reward enough. Okay, all this extra stuff should be earned. You want some Jordans? Earn it. Where your grades at? Where the A's at? You can get it. It ain't no problem, but you earn it. That way, when you grow up, guess what? You ain't out there trying to rob somebody. You learning how to earn when you're young. But when you don't teach them these skills and you try to give them everything, the next thing you know, you ain't giving it no more. You ain't got it no more, and they got a pistol to somebody trying to take it because they don't know how to work and get it. That's the kind of raising you're doing out there. Is that what's going on?
Right.
That's what's going on, man. We got to understand that. You know, I'm not knocking out women and the women that try to do good, but you got to start listening to the man. Sometimes his input is valid.
I mean, he already had enough input.
Yeah.
Yeah. Input it on the input. And now you can't get no input. That's
Yeah,
what I don't
exactly.
understand.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't get that.
Yeah.
That's the part I don't understand.
You're right.
I mean, for the life of me, how can you not want your child to go to that house, but then you turn right around and call your sibling and send them over there?
I don't know.
What make me better than the person that made
Right.
them?
You the bad guy. Make you out to be the bad guy. I mean, you
Oh
can't.
no,
have
my
input.
son can't come over your house. Uncle Bloke, I go spend the night over there. What? This how we doing it?
Yeah.
We
exactly.
telling these people they can't raise their own, be a parent.
Yeah.
But then you send them right over here to somebody else that's not their child.
Well, that's the way they doing it. That's the way they doing it. That's how they doing it in school. That's how they doing it everywhere else. Just don't want you in the picture. Now, who is that just don't want Blow in the picture? Is it the mama or is it the government? Who is it that don't want you in the picture, being who you supposed to be and doing what you supposed to do? Somebody don't want you in the picture, especially if you trying to do what you supposed to do and then nobody's listening to Blow.
I mean, I don't get it. And then it's like the ultimate problem is you don't trust that person's judgment.
Yeah, exactly. You don't trust it.
Well, who judgment should really be a question.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
that's what I don't understand. I don't trust your judgment, but my judgment got us in this situation.
Yeah, exactly. So your judgment ain't good enough. So I'll turn to somebody else. I'll turn to social media. I'll turn to the media. Let them tell me how to do my child. So guess what they tell you to do? Well, you need to go take them down to a psychiatrist. You know what I'm saying? Let them pop. That's what they're going to tell you.
Yep.
And you go right along, trotting right down there. They acted out in school. Well, I think they ought to go see the student counselor and let them prescribe them something. And there they go, off to the races. That's what you do. That's who you listen to. I done seen it over and over and over again. When you got a man sitting right there.
Yeah, and then that's the man. That's the man in this situation. I don't want my child on that. My child don't need that.
Exactly. They
But
don't
now,
need that.
Years later, here go your child been on that stuff 4 or 5 years. Now they acting out for real now.
Yeah.
And you ain't got no say so on that.
Exactly.
Now they walking out of class, you trying to, hey, when I catch him, oh, you intercept him. Oh, he can't come over there now. Cause you go put your hands on him.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
I ain't gonna give him what he needs.
Exactly. I mean, come on, man. We got to understand that. It's terrible, man, that we let somebody else raise our kids. And as we look at our kids and look at what's going on out here, man, it's a shame. Nobody's respecting anybody. You should never have a 14 or 15-year-old up in a grown person's face, sitting there just cussing them out, saying anything. Who raised that child? The first thing somebody ought to be looking at, who raised this?
I did.
Yeah, who raised this one?
I did, because when I tried to choke him out, or when I tried to run up on him at the school, I told one of them one time, I'm off Friday. I'm gonna come up there and pop up by halfway through the class and just see if I can catch him acting up. Oh, I don't think that's necessary. That's what they told me.
Yeah.
I don't think that's necessary.
Yeah. What?
So you just go F him out, make him repeat his grade again.
Yeah, that's the way they do it. They don't care about them passing and failing. They just care about indoctrinating. But I guarantee you can tell you one thing. He can tell you his pronoun. I forgot one. No, I mean, just say they can tell you their pronoun. They can tell you what trans mean. They can tell you who can be in the sports. All of that stuff they can tell you. But they can't tell you what's 110 plus 52. They can't do that, can't add or can't read a book and remember nothing. That's the problem. We need to stop it. We need to start taking control, raising our children, and stop letting the kids, Joe Biden, them, all of these people raise our kids, everybody except for the daddy, who's probably got the best input ever for that child. I mean, because he'll sit back and he won't act off emotion. He will reason things out. You see what I'm saying? And that's what men do.
And I'm gonna be all and I'm gonna call it like this. And I'm gonna be all the way honest with you. I think this generation, my generation of dad, will probably be the best generation of dad because we didn't have dads.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of people my age, probably between the age of maybe 35 and 45, they didn't have no dads. I mean, they really was the ones in the era where the welfare was being given out, and they was running in, checking mom in them closet, making sure there wasn't no man in the house.
Mm-hmm.
That's my age range.
Yeah.
So we the ones that grew up without no dads. We the ones that went to jail, went to prison, got shot, almost got shot, learned that way.
Yeah.
So we want to protect our kids from having to go through those things.
Exactly.
One thing about it, I don't believe my son should have to get shot and go to jail and be on drugs and alcohol till he's 30 years old to get his life on the right track.
Exactly.
That's what happened to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what happened to me.
Yeah. That's what happened to most young black men.
I don't think my son should have to go through that. So me as a parent, I feel like if I see him going on that path, if I need to grab hold of, then you need to get out of my way.
Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what needs to happen. But you would rather Blow get out of the way than the people that's trying to lock him up for 30 years. That part I never have been able to get. I never have got that. So I don't whoop you, but you do something wrong, he send you away. The crime never fit the time, and he give you 100 years for a little bit of nothing. Maybe 3 strikes and that's it. A pack of chewing gum, and they send you up the road, for a life sentence. You'd rather do it that way than him to get a toe up and toe out the frame when he's younger. That ain't gonna last but a few seconds. That other stuff lasts a lifetime.
You'll know your son on drugs. You'll know your son posting guns on social media. You'll know your son running with the gang. You'll know your son don't listen. You'll know your son out here thugging out in public, and you'll still not send him over there to his daddy. For the life of me, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah.
How can you have a 9th grade son that fails his grade, want to be gang, pistol toting, slinging, hanging and banging, and you won't say, you know what, go stay with your daddy?
Yeah, exactly.
You rather bury him than send him to go stay with his daddy.
Absolutely. Because they don't want you to get no glory out of you. Gets nothing out of it. They don't want to say that you get nothing. And I can't. I'm gonna tell you what offends women the most. And I found this out. Call them a bad mom. Call them a bad mom, and that will offend them more than anything. Because because their ego won't let them do nothing else. I mean, really.
I mean, and that's what it is. And this is not bashing women. This is just,
Exactly.
I mean, this is the stuff I know to be true because I know right now, we all see it on the news. These little, man, they'll be like funeral service tomorrow for little Ray Sean. And then they got Ray Sean on Charlotte Alert. Ray Sean got that iron. Boy, he got an extendo sticking all the way halfway down the street.
Yeah, exactly.
But now LaShawn laid up in the front of his church. Mama knowed he wasn't doing right.
Right. Now you talking and wanting to speak good, but when it's too late.
When it's too late.
Yeah. I mean, you should have been doing that from the beginning. Dads have a lot of input. I've been through it myself. I'll say one thing, and then it's, oh no, that ain't right. Come on. You don't think I know? You don't think I care about this child?
That's the thing about it. You have to stop acting like when the man speaking, he don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
If he's speaking on his child or if he's trying to discipline his child, it's because he cares.
You better know he cares.
I love mine to death.
Exactly.
I told him, if you go out here and you mess around and something happened to you, you know what I can do? I can't do nothing but put some skinny jeans on you and lay you up there, sit you up there at the front of the church. Because that's where you want to be.
Yeah.
That's where you want to be. Because I'm not coming down there talking to you through no glass. I'm not doing that for 30 years.
Yeah,
I'm not doing
exactly.
that. I'm not coming down there every week for 30 years. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. Mess around and go ahead and get your little self killed. You'll be up in there, you'll be in there with a hoodie and some skinny jeans on right up there in the front of the church.
Yeah.
Where you want to be at.
How many we got to lose? But then they'll trick you and make you think that we the ones doing it when we're not. These people are doing that to us. These people are forcing us into this. They're keeping us separated. They're trying to tell you that, well, he ain't no good. I'll do this. I'll do that. And they want to keep you up. They'll tell you they'll keep you up. So they give you the notion and idea, well, you could do better like this. One woman told me one time, and I'll never forget this. She said, well, the government love them more than their daddy do. I said, no, it don't. I said, no, they don't. The government don't love your kids. I can tell you that right now. Even if a man is out there on drugs or whatever, if he ever gets himself together, I promise you he'll love his kid. He'll want to love his kid. Maybe he's not together, but that don't mean that the government loves you more. You know why? Because the government is only going to give you a check for a certain amount. They're going to give you a check for some food stamps, but they ain't going to, when it comes to the birthdays and the holidays, they're not giving you nothing for that. They're not giving you a thing for that.
And they ain't giving you nothing if you got something. Or
Exactly.
you know how to get something.
Exactly.
You have to settle for nothing to get something. That's it. You
That's
have to
it.
settle for something to get nothing.
Yeah.
Let's believe that.
Yeah, and he gonna make that happen. He don't. That's why they didn't want no man in the house doing nothing. They didn't want you to have no help. They wanted to keep that out of there.
Yeah, because be working at Burger King and getting $1,000 worth of food stamps and turn around and get a job as a NA or a CNA.
Yeah.
They gonna cut them off. They ain't gonna give you nothing.
Yeah, nothing at all. So and you can do what you want, make your own decisions. See, when you start thinking for yourself, you can get a lot more done.
Yeah, you'll deal with the man more. You'll put up with something.
Exactly.
You ain't got to put up with nothing.
Exactly.
I tell this story all the time. If a man and a woman, if a woman didn't get no kind of assistance from the government, and the man went nowhere around, the man would be sitting at the house on Friday night looking at the game, and all of a sudden, and he'll go to the door. And by the time he opened up the door and see the baby there,
with clothes, with bag, all right there. I'll see you too.
You'll find a way to make it. You'll find a way to make it work. If you got to drop them off and pull off,
exactly.
You'll put up with it. See, you don't put up with it because you don't have to put up with it.
Exactly. And that's what they know. It's a shame the way they can psychologically fake us out, Blow.
Put a game plan together and run the play.
They run the play every
That's
time,
all they
and
do.
it
They
works.
just write the X's and O's out and run the play.
And it works every time.
They see this stuff coming right before. I mean, they see this stuff coming. They know what you think.
Mm-hmm.
They know you think me and Art right on here right now telling a whole bunch of lies.
Yeah.
But that's why your feelings hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why we can't keep nobody in the queue.
Yeah,
They'll
exactly.
go up to 10 people, then they'll hear some keywords and they'll run.
Yeah.
Because we telling nothing but the truth over here.
That's what we do.
Stop protecting your kids from the daddy.
Exactly.
That's what you do. You protect the child from the daddy, but he run all over you.
Exactly. And that's a fact.
If the man, if I'm a man, right, and I know can't nobody whoop my child but the mama, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he going to school from my house, and the teacher called me and say he walked out of class because they asked him for his phone, and he said no. I'm sending him over there to get the beat.
There ain't no question. Ain't no question.
But that ain't what you doing. That ain't what you doing. You trying. Also, now I'm calling talking about, oh well, I need to call that teacher tomorrow and tell that teacher if my son give him the phone, if he break it, then he gonna be responsible.
Now what kind of mess is that?
That's just garbage.
You worrying about the phone instead of worrying about the child.
The parent, the adult is never wrong.
Yeah.
Not in a real man's eyes.
Exactly.
The adult ain't never wrong.
Exactly. If they ask you to do something, do it. Let me handle the adult.
That's what
you're
you
not
sending
that
them to anyway.
Exactly.
I don't understand it. You don't trust the people that you send them to every day.
Yeah.
You got to trust them people.
Yeah.
Or don't send them. He might well stay at the crib.
Well, let me put it this way: you got to trust them in certain areas.
Well, you gotta trust them in the area that you send them out there for.
Exactly.
If you ain't gonna trust, if you don't trust them at all, don't send them.
Exactly.
You might well leave them
Well, I prefer somebody to homeschool because right now they're not getting no schooling. I'm just saying.
And to be honest with you, that's probably why they don't want me up in the classroom.
Exactly.
They don't want me to hear what they're talking about.
Exactly. That's exactly why they don't want you up in there, because they ain't talking about nothing that's gonna help the child. They talking about all this other foolishness. I bet you, and they're always looking at all the curriculum that the kids are going through. Why do we spend the most on education and the last in the nation and in the world? Just about the last in the world on education, but we spend the most. Where is all that money going? We told you the other week that if you do the math on what they give you, we seen that you can send your kid to private school if they gave you the money for your child.
Yeah.
You know, but they don't want to do that. And they fighting that right now because they got some bills up there. And it's a lot of these senators, they want the money to follow the child.
Yeah, because they said that it's an average of $12,000 to $15,000 a year to send your child to private school tuition. And then the public schools, they get money from the state, $11,500 something.
Yeah.
So they ain't there far off.
You ain't far off from sending them to some private school, getting a real education where they're actually teaching something in school and teaching your child to be responsible and holding them accountable instead of sending them out to these other places where you're in there jumping on the teacher, fighting with the teacher. How many times we see these people fighting with the teachers?
Man, they fighting with the teacher. I mean, this stuff didn't go on in my era. In
No,
your
sir.
era.
If
the bus driver said that Blow acting up on the bus, Blow getting the whooping.
Exactly.
Nowadays, they up there trying to go jump on the bus driver. The bus driver getting drug off the bus.
Well, in my day, the principal would take you in there and put a paddling on your butt. That's the way it used to be in my area. You could get a paddling right there at school, so you could get straightened up right there. That's what kind of trust that they had. And I think they really should have still had that paddling in school.
Yeah, but that's part of the play.
Yeah.
That's one of the X's and O's on the paper.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a part of the play.
Yeah. Do y'all think they should still have paddling in school? Being able to paddle the kids? I bet you most of them say no.
I know all of them. These the same people that don't. Hey, look, they don't even want the man of the house to get a piece of chicken before the kid.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, all of y'all will say no, that they shouldn't be paddling them in school. I believe they still should paddle them. Absolutely, Kiki. Yeah, absolutely, they ought to be paddling their butt. If you want to send them to school, let them discipline the kids like they're supposed to be disciplined. That worked back in our day. I tell it to you, you wouldn't be cutting up. I got a number of paddlers. I know. I did. I got a number of paddlers in school. Yeah. But now the first thing say, I don't want the white man to whoop my child. When he ought to be putting some spanking on him or something. You send them there. So they got slick and they started saying, well, okay, since we're going to tell them that can't nobody spank them or do nothing, we'll indoctrinate them. We'll indoctrinate them. We'll put all these crazy notions in their head and don't teach them nothing. That's how they get into you now. When they was really trying to teach you something, you didn't do it. That's not the teacher's responsibility.
Well, obviously, it ain't the daddy's responsibility either.
That's not the teacher's responsibility. Whose responsibility is it? You got them in there care.
And they ain't listening to them.
Exactly. So
and you protecting them from the daddy.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, starting in elementary school, if you know you're gonna get a spanking in class if you messing up, don't you think that's gonna resonate all the way up? Don't you think that's gonna learn something all the way up? Do you think you'll actually have somebody bucking up fighting the teacher if you know he's been getting his butt tore up the whole time? Do you think by the time you get up there big enough to do something, now he understands that somebody's in control? You got some authority there that's gonna handle the situation, okay, and take care of business. Yeah. Now that I would rather somebody spanking my child, you know, but the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna run up there, he ain't done nothing, and he done cussed out everybody, and they ain't did nothing he was supposed to do, and that's what started happening, and that's why they started putting these rules and regulations in place. Really?
Well, dear, I tell you what, school on Monday gonna be empty. Because everybody needs this. Ain't none of them kids.
Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna tell you something. I was right around the corner from the high school. Probably about a week and a half ago. And man, it's about 2 o'clock, so I know they just got out. Man, I'm in there, boy. I'm about scared to order my food.
Yeah.
I'm talking about there's about 3-4 cars in the parking lot with no tag on the car.
Yeah.
The hood bent up on it. There's about 4-5 tables in there with nothing but young boys in there.
Yeah.
I'm talking about 14, 15 years old.
Yeah.
There's 4 cars in the parking lot, ain't there one of them got a tag.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Is these the same ones that run up in all these stores and snatch everything and run out? These the same kids, right?
There's 4 or 5 cars in the parking lot of the restaurant. Ain't none of them got a tag on the car. 2 of them look like they already been wrecked. There's about 4 or 5 cars worth of little kiwis sitting in there with J's on, skinny jeans, sagging, book bags on, looking at me.
Yeah.
I ain't looking back at them though. I ain't looking back.
Yeah, probably got tools in their pocket and everything else.
Who raising them?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Who raising this?
Yeah.
Who raising these children?
Yeah, if you say that's not the teacher's responsibility, I say it is. I say you give them that responsibility.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and they watching me, and I ain't looking at them.
Exactly.
I don't want no smoke. So I can look over there and they can ask me who I'm looking at.
Yeah, exactly.
I ain't fooling with y'all.
Well, I'm just saying, man, it should never be that way. They should be all looking at you in a way saying, can I help you, sir?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about respect. That's been taken away.
No, and this is the
all
truth.
Of that.
See,
yeah.
We don't come over here and just tell a whole bunch of lies.
Exactly.
We ain't telling. I ain't make that story up.
No.
I went to the restaurant. They was in there. And their cars was out there, and I know they were driving them because they was all illegal.
They just had it on the news the other day where you got 2 kids riding around in cars, shooting people and laughing about it, running over them with the car. Oh, you see that? Filming it, running over and running people down on the car. They was on a bike and all this old crazy stuff. Who raised these kids? I mean, don't you think if they'd had some spankings real early, that would have been a deterrent to not do stuff like that? And if they would have learned to respect people and people of their age, that older than them, just start to learn to respect everybody, don't you think that would have worked a little better? Now they're in jail. They got them. They in jail, both of them. And they're going to try them as adults. I mean, somebody's mamas is sad today. Why? Why is these mamas sad? What? Because you didn't teach them nothing? You didn't let nobody teach them nothing?
You protect them from their daddy?
Yeah, that's what it was. The ones that would spank their butt and actually give them some discipline that they needed early in life. See, everybody always talk about the Bible ain't this and it comes from this. What? Spare the rod and spoil the child. It says that, you need the discipline. What father wouldn't discipline his child? That's going to help him out later on. I'm telling you, that's crazy. Oh man. Oh boy, our time done run out. Y'all got your cash apps up, like and share the page. Make sure y'all share the page. Yep. Okay. We thank you for another episode of Time to Tell the Truth. We come here every week, man, to discuss these topics. You got a topic you want to put up, let us know. Inbox Blow, or you can inbox me. It don't matter. It's one thing for certain.
2 things for sure.
We're gonna tell the truth.
Because it's time.
It's time to tell the truth. And the truth hurts.
You already